everybody. Saxophonist Jamal Riley. In this video, I would like to address improvisation. Quite a few people have asked me over some time, what's my approach to improvisation. When I say what's my approach, I mean I think that they're more so talking about how did I learn how to do it versus on a, I guess, the advanced level question. But how did I learn how to do it? And well, I got 3 steps that it took me to learn how to improv. Now, first and foremost, I didn't learn how to improv from anybody. I know nobody taught me how to do it. But over my time and experience, I have developed a way to help others. So that's what I'm trying to do. So here we go. First and foremost, the first, and it is the absolute most basic but most fundamentally essential thing that you need on any instrument, any tonal instrument. You have got to know your scales. You have got to learn your scales. I've been playing saxophone now for well over 16 years now, and I still practice my scales. That's just something you never get enough of doing, But what it is, learn all 12 of your major scales. Really, in my experience, I grew up on essential elements as far as school band goes. And school band, I'm speaking of concert keys now, not actual saxophone keys, because I'm speaking concert keys. Anyway, I grew up on essential elements. I know they have standard of excellence, traditions of excellence. Yamaha bands do it. A lot of different musical pedagogy books out there that do teach scales. But I know, especially, really it's geared toward middle schoolers, and some entry level high schools or whatever. But they really just teach you really up to about 8 scales, 8 or 9 scales at the most. They don't teach you the concert key of E, the concert key of A, the concert key of B. That's what it is. E, A, and B are ones that they really don't teach you. And honestly, the reason why it would be important, at least for me, to know it, especially I'm primarily just in gospel. A lot of contemporary gospel are playing stuff in those keys. Reason being, with the integration of guitars into the gospel scene. So a lot of times I'm playing stuff in the concert key of E and B, because usually in gospel everything is in a flat key or something like that. But it's not so. So I don't want any limits on me once I get in those funny keys. So first and foremost, you gotta learn your scales. And I'm talking about just major scales. You don't have to know your minors in your beginning stages. It would help to know them, but I would make sure I just get all my majors down pat first. Then you can go into your minors. And then once you learn your minors and understand how the majors and the minors into the parallel minors and into the relative minors, that type of stuff. Once you realize once you finally connect the dots, it'll make a lot more sense to you. But it'll make a lot more musical sense to you. And I have a motto, if you will, the more you know, the more you can execute. But anyway, so move forward. First and foremost, you gotta know your scales. The second thing, now this one kind of comes with experience, and what it is learning becoming very familiar with your instrument, if you will. What I'm saying is you go to a point, and it's not even necessarily, it's more so leaning toward playing by ear, but really not even that. But either way it go, the point is, the more you play your instrument, the more familiar you get with the sounds that each note sound like in your head, or at least subconsciously speaking. Especially, like I said, going back to school band, we all had that tuning note. We all F, E, G. Oh, I'm sorry. F, G, A, B flat. Sorry. Concert keys. F, G, A, B flat. And we walked it on up to that. And any band student anywhere knew those pitches without a shadow of a doubt. But that's just 4 pitches out of your entire instrument. That's just 4 pitches out of 12. At least in one octave. So Anyway, moving forward, you should go to a point. At least that's how when I help people out, that's how I kind of steer them that way. I should be able to go to a piano and press any key on that piano, and we got to press any key on that piano, and you should be able to match that note on your instrument without looking at the piano keys if you know your piano keys. But like I said, you should be able to know if you hear any note from anywhere. One time I was in the band room, the school bell came on for dismissal. I hit it right on the knob. It was a saxophone G sharp. But anyway, but that's something else that you can work on. But that's something you can't rush. That's just something that comes with experience with relationship with your instrument, and also something that once you get along down the way, when you get to the very tedious nature of your instrument, you got to notice that your instrument reacts a different way with each note, even if it's just the difference between an E and an F. Although it's just a minor second apart, just a half step apart, the instrument still reacts different. It resonates and reverberates different than it would with just the same note. Anyway, but so number 1, scales. Number 2, get familiar with your instrument to recognize the pitches. And number 3 is where it can get a little tricky. This is where you really put the two together. What you do is a mistake that a lot of people make when they try to learn how to improv or start really just try to get better at it. They think of these extravagant melodies and try to bring them out, and you're not quite there yet. Start out with something simple. For example, let me just get myself a tone pitch real quick. I'll just play in concert B flat or alto sax G, just for instructional purposes. Okay, so now that I got my tonic in my head, or tonal center, if you will, I'm going to say some simple melodies, and I'm going to bring it out of the instrument. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Da-dum-da-dum. Bum-bum-bum-bum. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. So what I'm doing is not even extravagant. It would be something simple. Even I wouldn't, more elementary than that, if you will. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. So my point here being that you don't have to, in your beginning stages, don't try to go for these superstar riffs that you hear your favorite musicians play, or people you may look up to, you just like to listen to. Don't do that. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can you can listen to the record or go back and ask them how they did it if you know them personally, and they can teach you that stuff. But as far as creating your own melody, start off simple. If you're ever gonna run a mile, the key to it is taking the first step. You don't just jump a mile. You take the steps to get there. Okay, so and don't beat yourself up if you're not progressing as fast as you think you should. Just keep working at it. It took me years to get where I am now. I didn't learn. I first wanted to learn how to improv when I was in 6th grade. And when I first got my sax, I wanted to learn how to do it so bad, but I couldn't even play my whole B flat scale. Of course I could eventually, but I didn't know anything, but I wanted to do everything. And I practiced a lot. I practiced a lot just because I surely just enjoy playing. But that was, like I said, your first step is learning all 12 of your major scales. You go get your minor. More power to you. After that, the second part you really can't rush. And that's developing a relationship with your instrument, because also once you develop a relationship with your instrument, when you listen to the music, you're gonna also hear the changes the chord progression or the chord changes that the music is doing, so that will open your ear up to what notes are at my disposal now. It's more than just, okay, this song is in the key of B flat, so let me play some notes on B flat scale. It's not that simple, but in your beginning stages, you know, for learning purposes, hey, go for it. I mean, when I first started improv, first thing I did, I run that scale. I run that scale a few times, play a little lick here, play a little lick there, until I got somewhere. But just have fun, you know. And a motto of mine that I really tell people all the time, who, especially if you're feeling low, you gotta start from somewhere. You gotta start from somewhere. One of the main saxophone players I listen to is Mike Phillips. As great as Mike Phillips is, I'm pretty sure he had to start from somewhere. Even scholastically speaking, one of my teachers was like, hey, Mozart had to start from somewhere. Mozart didn't just come out of the womb and just, he had to start with chopsticks and hot cross buns. Well, maybe not those songs in particular, but just something elementary to get the wheels rolling. So I hope you guys have found this video insightful, and I hope that it answered any questions that you may have. I hope, like I said, I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I have no problem helping anyone else. You know, I'm still learning myself. I'm still trying to get people born in me. So, you know, we all can learn something from somebody. So I'm just doing my part. All right, have a blessed day, and